Rick, what's going on, man? We just got back from Tampa, Digital Dealer 23. How's it going? How you feeling
Good.
after the
That was
show?
great. It was an awesome show. Ran into a ton of people and had a lot of good conversations. So still
Yeah,
buzzing from the energy of that show.
yeah. I think like the layout, the location, being on the water, it was such a great environment, I think, to network and get to meet a lot of people and see a lot of friendly faces.
Oh, it was awesome. Tampa was beautiful. It was really hard to leave yesterday.
I know we spent a lot of time at the booth, but what would you say were like some of the highlights in terms of like sessions or keynote speakers? You know, anything that really stood out to you?
Yeah, early on, popping into that automotive mastermind presentation was an interesting view into the world of inventory management and used car acquisitions right now for dealership, how they're managing their staff and shifting people into places where they are working best for the rooftop and for the group. So that was cool. And then you being able to do the 1-minute pitch on the opening day for Cartender was huge. I would say over half of our foot traffic that came to the booth was due to that.
One thing about that mastermind, that was like the first session we got to jump into. There's a lot of talk about AI and chat GPT, and like folks are really, really interested in that. And it's going to be interesting to see how it starts to transform a lot of elements of our business, specifically on the content creation side. You know, as you know, we already utilize it in some of like the script writing processes. When used correctly, I think there's a lot of opportunity, and dealers are definitely in tune with it and looking at it. As far as my pitch, you know, that was awesome, right? Future shows should always allow vendors that opportunity to get up there and talk about who they are and what they do. And I think one thing that really resonated based on dealers that were coming to the booth was turnaround time, right? The pain point of how long it takes to create content and needing kind of a resource to help them do that because they're already really limited on resources. So the highlight for me was, I think his name was Fedorov. He was with this company, APV, where he like threw his phone onto the stage. It was like kind of a dramatic moment, but
Yeah,
it was kind of cool, right?
it was unintentionally humorous. That was great. Great
It
moment.
was.
AI was such a huge buzzword at the show, and it was interesting to hear people talk about how they could integrate it into their business as a dealership or from the vendor side. But I heard several people mention that really the AI is only as smart as the top folks who are programming it, but still that it's not going to replace humans anytime soon. Selling cars is still a relationship-based business.
You know, one of the fun or like memorable moments that we had at Digital Dealer was, you know, we're at the networking event. So like the kickoff party, that was pretty amazing to have everyone in such an intimate space because you're outside, you're on the water. One thing that I really loved about that party too was I'm running into people that I've known for over 15 years. And then I'm meeting with both of them together and not even realizing that they've known each other just as long. So it's almost like a full circle moment.
We both commented on how small the industry feels once you've spent enough years in it. I have people that I started with at dealer.com that are now at Upstart, that are now at VinQ. So it's really fun running into different folks that you've known for a long time and are in different points of their career and journey.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like other memorable moments. Like you and I had a great steak dinner.
Oh yeah, one quick memorable moment. Sync hosted a cigars and bourbon event that was co-sponsored by the NFL Players Association, and it was a great networking opportunity, and it was just so cool to see a group of former NFL players hanging out by the water in Tampa, enjoying each other's company, and getting to meet those guys who played during the 90s when we were kids was amazing. That was super cool.
I joke too, like we spent so much time at American Social because all of those events were happening there. I'm just gonna rent a booth at American Social, and just that'll be my hotel and my presentation area. You know, it's like we spent more time there almost as much time there as we did at the actual show. So that was fun.
Yeah, we don't even need to walk over the bridge next year. Just hotel right down to American Social.
Right there, Or we'll rent one of the yachts that was sitting there the whole time, kind of teasing us, right?
Yeah.
So as far as like what was new at Cartender, I mean, as you know, like dealers were coming up, right? Asking like, okay, so how does this process work? How do you guys improve our turnaround times on creating video, creating imagery? And one of the things that I think stood out for a couple of the dealers was our AI voiceover solution, where we can write whatever we want to be the narration. And then a few seconds later, you get a very human-like sounding narration track that gets overlaid into your video. Also really cool about that is we have voice cloning. So one of the dealers' owners actually does all the voiceover work for their videos, which I'd never heard of before, but it makes sense, right? Like he really is strong on his brand and what he wants representing as himself as part of the dealership. So we're actually going to be able to clone the voice of that owner, and then he doesn't have to spend all that time sitting in a studio recording things. His team can now use his voice to generate the voiceover for the different ads that they're going to be generating with the pup.
I think that's cutting edge AI-driven tech, and to my knowledge, no other company in the industry has offered that feature yet.
As far as like feedback or like reviews that we got from dealers or any of the agency folks that stopped by the booth, like was there anything that really stood out to you?
Yeah, we had a lot of positive feedback from people we spoke with throughout the show and did mini demos with right there at the booth. So, I'm a little biased, but I'm really excited about our tech. I think it's a few steps ahead, and we offer a lot of unique products and cool features that you won't find anywhere else. So I'm excited in the weeks ahead to continue those conversations, do some more in-depth tech demos of our platform, and begin partnering with many of the dealers and vendors that we spoke with at Digital Dealer.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, one of the best reviews was meeting a dealer for the first time and them hearing about us from other folks. It feels good knowing that all of the people that you have these relationships with who know each other, like all feel the same way about each other. So we are really like one big family in such a small industry.
Yeah, it was really cool meeting some folks for the first time that we've been chatting with. Trent, for example, we ran into at American Social on our first day, and we've been chatting with him for months, and he's a big fan and advocate, and look forward to working with him more as well. But that was super cool.
And Rick, let's not forget, we met each other for the first time in person.
Yes, that's right.
We've been doing this for so long, and
I exist. I wasn't catfishing you, and it was great to meet you and grab some great meals and work together.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. Well, I don't know about you. I'm looking forward to the next show. Every show kind of teaches you something different.
I've been told that Digital Dealer in Vegas is already 75% booked. This show is a little quieter, so I think it'll have a completely different feel. We'll get to speak with more folks and keep getting the good word out there about Cartender.
Yeah, Rick and I had a great time at Digital Dealer in Tampa. We look forward to the next one, and we definitely look forward to seeing you at the next show as well.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.